Welcome to the new Haitian generation. I am your host, Robin Cherry, and today we have in our program my special guest, Mr. Ronald Surin. I'm telling you, I am so excited to interview him today. He has been all over the place when it comes to immigration and the law, but I want you today to get to know him personally. I mean, every time I turn around and try to get information about immigration for our people, I turn to him. But do we really know who Ronald Surin is? So thank you so much for coming to the show today. How are you doing today, sir?
Hey, Pastor, I'm doing very well. I'm doing fine. It's a pleasure to be with you, always.
I want you to get comfortable because today I'm really going to get personal with you because I think the people wants to know who's Ronald Surin, where you're from, you know, some of the things, some of the upbringing and things like that to help them to really connect with you.
Oh my God, I'm nervous. I do not like to talk about myself. I'll do anything now. Oh my, I'm in trouble. Let's see, we'll do our best.
We're going to do our best. Even talking before the show, there are some things we was talking about that I didn't know about you. So I want to share that with the people. So tell us about your background, your upbringing. Where were you born?
Well, I was born in Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
Okay.
In a military family where my father was kind of very strict.
Very strict.
And eventually, for some personal reason, my mother left Haiti around 1980.
Okay.
Immigrated to the United States. And maybe a number of years later, I joined her here. And I attended school in Haiti at Petit Séminaire Collège Saint-Martial. Then I came to the U.S. and I started going to school. Then I decided to spend time to join the military, try to keep some family tradition here.
So you were actually in the military yourself?
Yes, I did join the United States Navy, where I spent 3 years in active duty.
Wow.
And being involved and went through and left after Desert Storm.
You went to Desert Storm?
Yes, it's for old people. But yeah, it's been a while. Yes, we did have to go fight Saddam Hussein when Iraq invaded Kuwait and taking the oil field. Yes.
So you was on the field?
Well, being in the Navy, so we don't get into the ground, but we were manning the big ship, dropping the heavy bombs and causing a lot of physical destruction.
Wow. So from Haiti, from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, you know, flying your kites and playing marbles.
Marbles was the thing.
And eating your conch and griot.
Rice and beans.
And your rice and beans to America. Where did you come to when you came to America? Was it Florida or?
Oh, I've been in Miami.
Miami.
I have tropical blood, and I navigate around Miami.
So from Miami, and then you joined the Navy, and then you are on a ship, you know, fighting Saddam Hussein. My goodness. See, I don't think the people knew that part about you. We see you really helping the community when it comes to helping us with the information. But I think that's a story that we need to really get into, you know, you in a ship and being there in a close confinement of a ship and actually in a war into that journey. Wow, I think that can inspire a lot of young people to really follow their dreams. Was that something that you really wanted to do, really to follow your father's footstep into going to the Navy?
I was inspired to follow his footsteps doing military service, but I find out later it was not really for me, so I did not make a career out of it. But it was a good experience. I think a lot of things, you say I don't speak about it, but a lot of things still reflect on me. I still have that fighting spirit. It's in me, and we learn a lot of things from military that give you discipline and a number of qualities that your word is your bond, and to be honest and straightforward. So your integrity, a lot of good things can come out of it. But
that's good. A lot of good characters.
Yes. I just don't want to be known as a fighter, destroyer, killing
Yeah, I think
machine.
most of the times that I've had an encounter with you where we did work in a community, you really kept your word. And that's really what, as a pastor, I wanted to use you and said, whatever he says, that's what he's going to do. And a lot of people, you know, they would say certain things, but they don't deliver on what they say. And for you, I truly believe that you are a man of your word. And as you're saying right now, your Navy background gave you that discipline to be honest and having integrity.
Well, my military background, my Christian background, and my legal background all requires that your word to be your bond.
Wow.
So you just have to live with what you promise and deliver to the best possible to keep your word.
Wow. So in Haiti, did you have a chance, I'm sure you had a chance to go to the beach and enjoy the weather there. You know, how was it in Haiti? How was it living in Haiti when you were there?
Well, it's so funny you say that, because when you growing up in Haiti, you take the beach, you take the weather, you take a few things for granted.
For granted.
Until after you left them, you realize, wow. And especially when I see in the U.S., people are fighting to have an oceanside view, and now we have it in plenitude in Haiti, then we just ignore it, and it's funny. Now when you reflect back, you realize that how good a country we had, well, until you mess it up, but it was a very good experience. And living in Haiti, you just make life with, I mean, as a kid, I mean, you have fun with anything you find, and your marble, your
kite.
You make a soccer ball out of anything.
Yes.
Oh my God, it was, I don't know. Actually, I reflected on that, and when I was in Haiti, they said, this country was poor. I like, how did they determine it's poor? Because I think I have everything that I need.
Right.
Right?
That's right.
We play, we eat, and then we go to school. So, hey, life was good.
That's great. I remember when I was in Haiti, and I remember one summer my father took us to the beach. And then while we were swimming, we saw the cruise ship coming by. And I asked my dad, what is that? I'm a kid, I don't know what that is.
Right.
He said, those are the cruise ship. And people from other places in the world are coming to experience our country. And I'm like, wow, that is so amazing to be in a place where people want to come and experience the beauty of Haiti. And I know now they are trying to get that back because of so many things that had happened. And I'm telling you, Haiti is a beautiful place, and there's so much enjoyment there. And when did you come here in America? You said 1987?
Yes.
And what are your educational background?
Well, I attended school at Petit Séminaire Collège Saint-Martial, and it's one Catholic, one of the best school of Haiti. So we have a good background in education. Okay. So it's kind of prepare you for academic level. So when I came to the U.S., it's inevitable. It's unthought. You could not even think of anything else to do but to go to college to pursue higher education. And that's what I did. And but I was strong in a lot of subjects, but math and science. So from the early age, I know I was not going to be a doctor or an engineer. And but I came here and I went to study in international political science. Okay. And with a minor in international relations. I did love it with a passion, and knowing almost every countries in the world, the capital city, and I mean, I don't know, it was amazing. I was in tune with the world, and so into it. Wow. But then later on, I just went, actually, I never thought being a lawyer, I never expected to be a lawyer. That was not part of my dream. I wanted to be a diplomat. So you wanted to be in politics? I want to be in politics, most particularly in diplomacy. In diplomacy, okay. Yes. Wow. But yes, actually, I went to Law School. When I saw in the brochure, it says international law. I like, oh, that's interesting. That's what I'm going to do. Wow. So you went to St. Thomas. Yes. And then UM. Yes. So what degree did you receive from St. Thomas? St. Thomas had a degree in political science, with a
science.
minor in international relations.
And then at UM?
I had a law degree, a Juris Doctor, and I expected to be doing international law, and then there's a turn, and I ended up having a passion for immigration.
Wow. And I wanted to stress education. When our parents left Haiti, their number one thing was education. You know, that's what they gave up their lives for, so their children can have an education. And I'm seeing a different shift with our young people today. And they are struggling with education. They're not putting it at first. And I just explain that, how important it is for you to have a great education, especially in America.
Oh, wow. Education is number one, is a great equalizer. If anything can guarantee you something better in life, it's education. You can play the lotto and never win. You can dream of many things, but education can never fail you.
Yeah.
Education never become an impediment in your life, well, most of the time. But anyway, without education, you are limited in many aspects in your life. Even the way you understand and relate to people, the way you see yourself in the future, and the way you understand the world around you.
Wow.
So education opens your eyes to a lot of things. Sometimes people see education as a means of income, but education is a lot more than that. Education gives you a sense of understanding what was before, during, and after you.
Wow, this is heavy wisdom dropping right here. Go say that again. Education do what?
Well, I have a problem remembering what I said, but education gives you a perspective of the past,
okay,
and give you understanding of the present, and give you a preview of the future.
Wow. I've seen a lot of kids today, because I was a teacher for the Broward County School Board for over 8 to 10 years. And many of them, they want the fast life. You know, let me be a rapper. Let me be a basketball player and a football player. And I remember asking one of the kids, are you going to college? He said, yes. I said, what you going to study? He says, football. I said, sir, there is no degree called football. And he was so shocked, because they are breeding them to play because that's their ticket out.
Right.
But when you're in college, learn something, just in case, you know, whatever you was trying to, you know, to do didn't happen.
Right.
Because a lot of them, when they get to college, if you can't read, you can't play anyway.
That's right.
You know, if you can't read the playbook, how are you going to play?
Well, education is kind of a delayed gratification. You do not get the reward right away. You may have to try to a fast way, but you realize that even those people, like successful athletes and entertainers, with education, they are a lot more powerful in their craft.
Yes.
So, and especially sport, it doesn't last too long. So if you do 5, even 10 years in playing sport, then what? Then you see those people lacking education cannot even manage the resources they gain during those years of sport and entertainment.
Wow. So education will help you to keep the whatever resource you have gained and help you to manage it.
Manage it, multiply it, grow it, and remain successful.
Because you said something very powerful, because a lot of athletes, after they finish playing, they go broke.
That's right.
Because they don't have the education or the means to duplicate or to use the resource that they have to continue their life.
Absolutely.
So the young people that are watching, you have a dream, you have a purpose. However, education is one way to help you to achieve that mean.
Yeah, put it this way, education cannot prevent you from living your dream. So why not pursuing it?
Education cannot prevent you from living your dream. Why not pursue it? This is good. I'm going to have to go back on this segment and start writing some stuff down. So who was your biggest influence growing up?
This is a tough question. I would not say any individual in particular close to me that I know, but I've been inspired by a lot of people.
Okay.
See, for instance, my life, I think my mission in life, I think from God to me, is to serve. And I know when I was back in Haiti, I think that's one of the reasons that drove me in the military as well. I remember the words of President Kennedy, ask not what your country can do for you. From that point on, I realized that I have an obligation to give, to serve, to be an instrument instead of waiting for what can come to me, what I can get, what I can enjoy, but what do I have to offer?
Wow.
Like even our presence on earth, I believe that the service we give is really the payment we give for our stay here.
Yeah.
So if you here, you're not giving any service and you're not living the purpose of your Creator.
That's good. So beside your father, because I know your father had a great influence on your life, who else had great influence in your life?
Oh, actually, I'm a combination of my mother and my father.
Okay.
My mind is of my father and my heart is of my mother.
So both of them influence you in a lot of things that you do today.
So when I'm being mean, that's all my
your
father. And when my heart is softened and helping and then trying to improve somebody's lot in every situation, it's all my mother. My mother, she's a servant and she's love and she's caring. Or my mother, she's a great person to be around.
Wow, that's good. I could see the passion whenever you start speaking about your mother. Before I want to go into your career, tell us about your family. I know you're married. For how many years you've been married?
I guess my wife would kill me, but I think since 97, so I guess that make it 22 years.
22 years. Wow. Any children?
2 children.
2 children. And what are they doing?
I have a daughter, kind of stubborn, hard-headed, and my wife says she's
just
like
like
me, and I'm still fighting that. But yeah, she's in college. She's majored in engineering,
okay,
but now she's scaled back. She says she's doing industrial psychology. But anyway, yeah, she's in college, and my son is in last grade in high school.
In high school.
He's Ronald Surin. He's so kind and nice, and he's nothing like me.
So
my
the
wife
opposite,
says.
the opposite of you.
Absolutely, but he's an athlete.
Okay.
He had a football game, I think, just yesterday.
Oh. So you get to enjoy that.
Yes, I was there. I think it's very important to be involved in your children's life. I think that's something short of us, we Haitian. We just want to feed them, clothe them, and shelter them, but we don't understand that our active presence in your children's life is priceless. They would not remember the big house, the car, the money, the expensive clothes, or those things, but they'll remember the time you spent with them.
That's good. Parents, please pay attention to that. The kids will remember the time you spend with them, not, the food and the clothing and all that stuff. Spend some more time with our children. I want to transition now because the first part of our segment, I really wanted to get to know you. And I think we have done that. I think a lot of the people have learned so much about you now. Now, tell us about the love that you have for law. How did that begin?
Well, part of my mission for service, and I realized that the law is the best instrument to bring positive change, to solve problems, to help people in the situation, to improve their condition. So when I see my understanding and knowledge of the law can transform somebody's life, that's like, wow, that's like a drug in me. It's kind of boosts my energy. It's give me a drive that make me want to do more, and I feel so good when people get the result they seek, and you see the joy in their face, and you transform a family. Sometimes you can make a difference in one person's case, and that's the opening for a whole family, if not a whole generation. So to me, it's a humble experience as well for me and my understanding for God to use me as an instrument to make a difference in people's life.
Now, tell me about being a Haitian lawyer, because it's already good enough to be a lawyer. Now, how does it feel to be a Haitian lawyer helping your community, helping your people? How does that feel?
It's funny you said that because it's a different assignment. Because it's one thing to be a lawyer, but it's another thing to relate to people that you're helping with the legal problem. And to understand the language, to understand the behavior, to understand the perspective. When people have a certain perspective from the Haitian perspective, then it's even my job is as a bridge to transition them from the American perspective, the way the law says. It may seem to be unfair, but the law says that's the way it should be, then try to transform the mindset to understand. And one of the experience I've had in a case of asylum, there were two people, two clients, and kind of similar cases, but there's only one difference. One claimed that when they pursued to try to find her, to locate her, she went to hide under a bed. Just because of that word alone, she was denied asylum, because the judge could not relate to somebody in Haiti hiding under a bed. Because bed in the U.S., there's nowhere to hide. But if you're a kid growing up in Haiti, you remember
hide all the time.
All the time you hide
Under the bed.
Under the bed. Whereas the other client from Port-de-Paix said she hid in the closet. So if I were the judge, I know that's the one I would be denied, because where you get the closet in Port-de-Paix. But the judge can relate to closet. It makes sense to him, and that's what I try to impart to my client. Not only your story is what it is, but does it make sense to the judge who's going to listen to your case and to make a decision on your life?
So as a Haitian lawyer, you're trying to connect with them and trying to show them this is how we're going to move, especially here in America. And I think that is vital, that people can look up to you and say, you know what, I need help, and I know I could get it because he's relatable. He's relatable. Even when I was a teacher, whenever a parent came to school and that parent, didn't speak English, they called Mr. Cherry. Can you call Mr. Cherry to the front office? And when I came, I was able to calm the parents down because I spoke her language.
Right.
They felt comfortable. And now, as a lawyer, for me to have a lawyer and you speak my language, I think that is phenomenal what you are doing in our community. Tell us about your law firm.
Well, in 1999, my partner, Mr. Vladimir Champagne, we left our respective employment and we decided to form that law firm. And ever since, we have established ourselves in Fort Lauderdale. And we've been there for all those years and offering the reliable services, the same location, almost nothing has changed except that the law is changing, so we just have to keep adapting to it. But we practice mainly in immigration. Immigration is important to me because it is the foundation of anyone who wants to establish him or herself in the United States. Without immigration, your dream for education, for employment, all the career, all the expectation you have in life can be shattered.
Wow. And
if you can bypass or overcome this obstacle of immigration, it opens a lot of doors for you. Can you imagine coming from Haiti, within a few years you become a U.S. citizen, and your vote, one vote, is equal as the one vote of Donald Trump?
Wow.
To me, that's so powerful.
So what's the name of the law firm again?
The law offices of Champagne and Surin.
Okay.
We do mostly immigration, but we do a lot of other civil matters like accident cases, not only personal injury, real estate, and also family law.
Okay. And before we end today, we're going to give you a chance to tell us where we can find you, any contacts. But before we get to that, give us a glimpse in your day-to-day as a lawyer. Your day-to-day, you wake up and then you go to the office. What does it look like as a lawyer, especially in our Haitian community?
Well, my days varies based on what I have in my schedule. Some days I've scheduled for court in the morning, sometime in the afternoon. Some other days it's at immigration. In fact, we expand our practice almost nationwide, where we represent people in immigration almost in any state. So sometimes we have to travel out of state and to represent other people. In fact, just recently, maybe a few months ago, we opened a branch of our firm in California, all the way in San Diego, California, because there was a great need for a lot of our brothers and sisters crossing from Mexico to San Diego. They needed representation, as you said, for people who speak their language and understand their culture, and who can make them feel comfortable in the legal process.
Wow. That is phenomenal that you are expanding. You are expanding your reach, and because you're doing a great job in our community. Is there anything coming up in our community, especially here in South Florida, that they need to be aware of?
Well, first, I think there was a deadline by December 2nd for naturalization, where the test is going to be harder and then longer and more difficult.
And cost more.
Yes, indeed. But what is concerned now is a TPS. As the TPS is about to end in January, what people to expect? People start being concerned about the driver's license, keeping their employment, and so forth. So they want to know what the government is about to do or want to say about the situation. And I can, from what I learned, it's probably any time now they can come out and expand and give an extension to the TPS for another 9 months.
Wow.
And we hope so, because they actually, by statute, they're supposed to do that within 60 days of the expiration date. But that's the most concern for people. And I just have to tell people, stay hopeful. Yep, and hopefully immigration would get maybe more comprehensible and fair. Maybe because for the past few years, it has been tough,
very tough,
on a lot of people seeking immigration status.
Now, your firm helped with that, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
So tell us again the name of your firm and the location and the number.
Yes, we are the law offices of Champagne and Surin.
Okay.
So managed by Ronald Surin, myself, and Vladimir Champagne. And actually, we go way back. We went to same high school in Haiti. So we have a long friendship. But we're located in Fort Lauderdale. Okay. The address exactly is 480 Northeast 13th Street.
Okay.
And Fort Lauderdale, our phone numbers has not changed for the past 21 years. It's still 954-463-0709. And anyone who wants to reach us and make a call, get an appointment, and I'll talk to you directly.
Wow. You've been watching the New Haitian Generation with my guest, Ronald Surin. And I'm telling you, it's been great to be on Beacon TV. You are watching the New Haitian Generation on Beacon TV. Thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to seeing you with my next guest.